think it's about time I do another inbox video. So I have two packages that have been here for about a month or so. They're from two very good YouTube friends. Bottom's from Baton 5, he's from the UK. Top's from Nate DeRitter, he's from Australia. And I've already peeked in them a little bit just to see what, and to kind of get an idea of what's in there, but I haven't really looked at them very much. I've been meaning to make this video, but kind of other projects have been getting in the way. But now is the time to do it. So let's get to it. So first off is a package from Nate DeRitter. He's from Australia, and I think he sent me some computer parts. I may have opened this up upside down, but oh well. Very nice packing material. Motherboard. Oh. AMD fan for the processor. Another motherboard, some RAM, and a random chip and a random transistor. Nice. Actually, I have to say, this packing material is pretty nice. I really like that. I think that's pretty much it. That was only a few items, but they're pretty nice items. I'll leave it inside of his packaging until I need it for the project, but this is pretty awesome. This is probably faster than my main computer. This is 4 gigabytes a piece. Holy shit, that's a lot. These are 4 gigabytes a piece. I think the biggest I usually see is only 1 to 2 gigabytes, and even 2 gigabytes is rare for here. So we have a CD4026BE. Looks like it's made by RCA. Can't wait to look up the datasheet for that. That's pretty cool. And we have this transistor. That'll be very useful for stuff. Looks brand new. That one looks pretty fancy too. It's an Asus board. I definitely can't wait to use these. I'll do some tests and probably look up the data sheets for these, and I'll see which one's the fastest, and also see like what power requirements they need. And one of these is going to go into my K-Pro computer, because remember a month or so ago, or a couple months ago, I bought a little 8-inch LCD screen, and I'm going to put that inside of my old K-Pro computer and make it actually usable again. Be a nice portable computer. And then probably another one. If it's faster than my main computer, I might just build a new computer. So this is pretty awesome. Don't forget Nate DeRitter. He has a lot of computer videos and stuff like that. He works for a big company that fixes computers and arcade machines, but he also has a lot of cars. So if you subscribe to his channel and really like cars, maybe you could probably tell him that you want to see more car videos, and he'll probably make them. Because hey, if you're interested in them, he probably wouldn't mind recording them. But now let's work on the other package. This one is from Baton 5, and it's pretty awesome. First off, we have the PAL version of Metal Gear Solid. This looks pretty nice too. Then we have a CFL with the British plug. Now that's pretty cool. I'm a big fan of different plugs. No doubt for 240 volt. It's a really interesting design. I don't think I've ever seen one like that with the holes that go through it. So basically all three of these tubes are linked, because this one is linked to that one, which is linked to that one. Don't know if that has to do with the functionality of it, or maybe that's just they only want to pull a vacuum on one. They don't have to do one for each thing. Okay, a headset. Interesting. Some laptop RAM. That'll come very useful. Xbox 360. Now I have two Xbox 360s, and maybe I can finally make a video where I try to reflow the solder on the CPU to get it to work again. I think I remember him saying this was a red ring of death, like most broken Xboxes. What the hell? Oh! This is pet food for my cat, I guess. I'll give it to Symbol. I had no idea what this was at first. It was weird. Oh, I guess there's more? Okay, more cat food. I'll have to give that to my cat. I might give that in a different video. Sega. Oh, it's a PAL Sega. Oh my god. I do have to say, even though I enjoy the American plugs, the British plugs are the safest by far, because they have the shielding around the bottom and just how they're designed. Also, they look cool. This is awesome. I love this. I have to remember there's an entire system attached to the plug. I can't just get connected to the plug. Weird. Red power buttons. I think the American version only had black. Now that is pretty cool. I guess it'd be a PAL version of Sonic the Hedgehog. Didn't know if this was one or two. I'm not familiar with that cartridge art. Huh. What's this? That is so funky. Weird. They're LEDs, but in rubber. Huh. That just blew my mind. This is so awesome. Wow. That's cool. We're going to have to light that up. What's this? Oh, shrink wrap. Well, this will be very useful for stuff. You put it over some cables, and you put a heat gun onto it, and it shrinks around the wires to make a really nice and neat wiring thing. Super glue. I'm starting to think he just took his junk drawer and emptied it out in here, which I'm perfectly fine with. That's actually pretty cool. I really love little random shit like this. This is really cool. Not saying this is shit, but just random little things. This is so awesome. Super glue. I rarely buy super glue, so this is nice. I actually have some I can test if it even works. Oh. These are little step-up modules. These take in a voltage, and then they step it up in voltage. Or maybe they're step-down modules. Weird. Okay, so they're DC to DC, that's for sure. I have several of these that I use for stepping up and stepping down voltages. This must be a... must have a little 18615 side of it. The little USB power thing. Hey, look at that. It is. That's a little 18650 cell there, and that feeds 4.2 volts into here, and you can power stuff with it. I could use this for a portable charging system for my camera. If I can get it back together. Oh god, I just broke it. Oh well. That's pretty cool. I always see these, but I just never get them. Maybe they sell them at stores and stuff there. Because around here, you don't usually see these at stores. I would assume this would be like a little $5 thing or $10 thing that you'd find near the checkout line of a grocery store. That just seems like a place they'd try to sell these. It has a little flywheel inside there. When you press this down, it spins up the flywheel, turns the generator. That is cool. I wonder if it has a charging thing. No, looks like it's just on or off. Now that is cool. Ah, we have some RAM. Oh, some NVIDIA RAM too. 1 gigabyte. So this looks really fancy. Really high end. Forgotten Realms books. I've never read that series, but I definitely will read these. Notepads. Very good for my memory because I tend to forget things. Little adapters for motherboards. Oh. I don't know what that is. Huh. Something to do with translating. Or maybe it's stories. Oh, okay, so it's Greek and Roman stories translated to English. Now that is cool. Huh. I love stuff like this. I'll try to read that too. What the hell is this? Looks like when I release that, that'll pop up sucking through there. So it's weird. Oh, it's a desolderer. So you heat up solder on a circuit board. You put this over it, suck it up, and it sucks the solder up. Which actually, when I did that, something fell out. So there's probably solder inside here. Little chunks of solder. I've never seen anything like that. That is awesome. More wires. Those are interesting. Oh, another RAM chip. RAM card, whatever. Another 1 gigabyte one. Fan and a CPU heatsink. I imagine those went together. I love heat sinks because they're anodized. I love the colors of them and collecting them. Some of the best heat sinks that just look the coolest were from the late 1980s and early 1990s with the Intel 486. Those just seem to have the coolest ones. Can't tell if this is plastic or metal. Probably is metal. That's cool. It's for drills and stuff. Naruto. That's cute. Ah, we have some coins. Let's see what this is. £2. That's cool. I love how it has two metals on there. The bronze-ish, or the goldish, and the silvery in the middle. It's 1997. Such a fancy coin. This is 20 pence. 1983. Terrible year for video games. The year of the North American video game crash. 2 pence. That's odd that they have a 2-penny coin. Because pretty much, I imagine if it's similar to the United States, anything under 25 pence, or 25 cents, is basically worthless. It's only there to change, like, to make sure you get the right amount. Is this 10? 5. Okay, so this is 5 pence. $2003. And this one? Oh, it's another 2 pence. That's pretty cool. I'm a huge fan of money, and British money is pretty cool. More of those bendable lights. I'll have to find something to do with these. This is awesome. That little lithium battery. Nickel metal hydride. 650 milliamp hour, 7.2 volts. That'll definitely be good for something. And then, the last pieces, we have a little step-up transformer, a little paper clip thing, and a wire. I really have to say the Sega Genesis, or Mega Drive, really brings back a lot of nostalgia, because I remember being over at my friend's house when I was like 10 or so, and they had a Sega Genesis, and I also remember the slight smell of like pipe smoke, or just maybe it's just old tobacco smoke or something, but I'm thinking Baton 5 smokes because this has kind of a tobacco smell to it, which personally I don't have any issue with things smelling smoky, because like this, it doesn't smell super smoky. It's just like a light overtone. But I just remember being over at my friend's house when back when I had like friends I went over to, when I was like 10 or so, and playing Vector Man and Sonic the Hedgehog on his Sega Genesis. Yeah, actually it's probably a lot younger, probably like 7 or 6 years old. But either way, yeah, this is pretty cool. So here we have the LED light strip hooked up to my power supply. Let's bring up the voltage. That's pretty cool. I like that. It's only pulling about 120 milliamps. So about maybe 2 watts at most. That is really cool. Pretty bright too. I like that. I'll definitely find like a good use for that in a case or something, like maybe make like a case where I can house something really valuable, or at least valuable to me, like a meteorite or a big fossil, and I could have those inside the case to illuminate it. And the construction of these are pretty weird too, how they're bendable. It just blows my mind whenever I see bendable circuits. Actually, I think this is the first bendable circuit I own. You can see the conductors are very wavy inside there. That's how they make sure that it keeps, that it doesn't get so tight that if you were to bend it, it would snap it, I guess. So these little modules are in fact step-up transformers, much like the ones I've been using. I got like 4 of these and they're okay, but because they don't limit the amps, they can fry themselves very easily. And this, I think these are only rated for like 1 or 2 amps, and these are like 3 or 4 amps. Well, anyway, I'm feeding it with about 10.7 volts. You can see it's already putting out 16 volts, but by turning this little screw right here, you can increase the output voltage or decrease it. Wow, that goes up high. Okay, so 38 volts is kind of the maximum. And of course, this is a step-up transformer, so it won't be able to go below the input voltage, which is 10.7 volts. It's just not set up to go below that. Yep. Stop there. And this other one is pretty interesting too. It's a different configuration, but I'm thinking it's pretty much the same thing. The only difference is it only has 3 pins instead of 4. The ground of the input and output is the same. That's weird. But still, thank you. This is very interesting. The very interesting thing is that I think this can actually run at a much lower voltage than this. Because this, its lowest voltage it can take in, is about 3.4 volts. And these ones, well, let's see. We'll take the voltage up to... Oops. Up to about 14 volts. We're going to take down this voltage. That are 2.9. That's pretty good. Oh, now it's starting to go down. It's about 2.8 volts. Which surprisingly is the same voltage that a supercapacitor works at. So I'm kind of wondering maybe if I can make something with this to power these LEDs from a supercapacitor. I really have to thank you yet again, Baton 5, for this really awesome gift, pretty much, because you sent it for free. And I will compensate you by hoping some of my subscribers go to your YouTube channel and check you out. Now, of course, Baton 5 doesn't make super regular content, but he does make really some interesting videos talking about his RC cars and stuff like that. And his like quadcopter. I think he's going to be making a quadcopter or hexacopter or something. Or at least he's wanting to. I don't know. But yeah, thanks for all this stuff. I feel really spoiled now. That's not to say that Nate's package was not worthy or something, but his package is really cool. It's just I sought out Nate's motherboard because me and him were talking about his new computer upgrade, and he said he didn't know what he was going to do with his old motherboard, and he was going to throw it away, but his old motherboard that he wanted to get rid of is like faster than my fastest computer. So I offered to trade him for it. So he sent me those, and I'll send him these. He's a really big fan of video games. I'm mostly into Nintendo and Atari, but he's mostly into Sega. And to be honest, I'm not that much into Sega. There's only like 1 or 2 games that I'll play on the Genesis. But I have all this Sega stuff that I really don't care for. So I'm going to send him a Dreamcast, a Sega Dreamcast, with a game, just some stupid sports game. But I figure it's good for testing. Just you can pop it in there. Don't care if the CD drive hurts it or something. But just a test game. I'll give you a Sega Genesis Arcade Power Stick. It's like a super duper controller, and the Sega Genesis or Sega Master Drive with the Sega CD on the bottom. This is like an expansion unit that lets it run CD games. And this is really weird, because to be honest, I've really never seen this model of the Sega Genesis. I'm familiar with this model, except for the ones we have around here always have black buttons, not red. So the red looks really cool on this one. Down here we have an on-off switch, a reset button, and a volume control. That's so weird to have on a console. I think this is the only console I've seen that has a volume control, setting aside like handhelds and all-in-one consoles. But yeah, Nate, I'll be sending you this. And to all my subscribers, go check out their channels, because that's the best way I can compensate. Because, okay, I know I could send stuff, but I really, really, really hate mailing things. Mailing this stuff to Australia is going to be annoying as it is. But yeah, hope you guys get some subscribers. Hope all you viewers enjoy this video. And I can't wait to make cool stuff out of this junk. This is pretty cool. Well, anyway, hope you enjoy this video, and thanks for watching. See ya!